Hey gang, just a quick video to update you after your first week of the detox. If you started on Monday, today will be day 7, Super Bowl Sunday, so go Hawks. Anyway, just wanted to give you an update. So the first few days were probably the roughest. You probably noticed maybe some headaches, body aches, maybe some of you had diarrhea or constipation, possibly some fatigue or dizziness. So I just want to go over those symptoms and just kind of let you know they're completely normal. So the headaches and body aches kind of go with if you were a caffeine drinker before, even if it was just 1 cup a day, body's used to getting that vasodilation effect from the caffeine. So without it, the body's constricting a little bit, causing a little bit of achiness in the muscles and in the brain there. Your body's response to being a little bit less oxygenated right now. So diarrhea or constipation, changes in diet generally change up your GI tract a little bit, and it should normalize within a few days. If it hasn't at this point, you can just email me after the video, and I'll give my email address at the end, and we can just talk about maybe there's some things in the diet I'm not agreeing with you. The fatigue or dizziness usually is a blood sugar issue. Those of you that have never done a detox or really drastically cut certain foods out of your body, a lot of times when you drop the sugars or gluten or certain carbs, the body will react a little bit to that. So low blood sugar causes a little bit of that dizziness or fatigue. So those are the symptoms that you might have. Just wanted to go over a few other questions. So we've had patients come in over the last week here, and they had a lot of questions on the Clearvite and the brochure mostly. So I'm just going to point out a few things on here. I'm going to zoom in right here. So first I want to just talk about the Clearvite itself. So the first 4 days, it was just 1 serving. And then the second 3 days, you're taking 2 servings. So that's as of Friday, Saturday, Sunday if you had started on Monday. So today will be the last day of 2 servings a day. And then we'll go into a full week where we're taking 3 servings. And then it'll go back down. So there'll be 3 days where you're taking 2. And then 4 days where you're taking 1 serving again at the end. Just to kind of go through that though, so we had a lot of questions on should I take it with breakfast, before breakfast, and just wanted to sort that out. Now there is some enzymes in the Clearvite protein itself, and digestive enzymes when taken on an empty stomach can be really great on decreasing systemic inflammation. So getting that in the system a little bit before the meals is a little bit more beneficial. So if you can, try to do it before the meal, or if you're going to throw it in a shake, a very, very light shake, very little bit of fruit, low fruit juice. If you're going to do juice, mostly water. We've been using coconut water here at the house, usually pretty low calorie, low sugar substitute. The other question on this brochure was about the diet itself. Now a lot of people thought, because this says sample diet, that this was all the foods that they could eat. I remember we went over the foods in the PowerPoint packets we handed out, or I sent out to you, as well as it has the foods to eat and drink down in this lower section. Now pretty much the first week and the third week, everything you see up here and everything in the foods to drink is fair game. Now the middle week's the only one where you take out animal products. Now this doesn't mean you have to follow this strictly and adhere to what they consider a sample diet. It's just they want you to have a little bit of protein and a little bit of fat with each meal, and then some of the meals you have a little bit of carbohydrates, and those are going to be your brown rice, your sweet potato, and your quinoa, and what else? Lentils. You'll get some stuff from that too, but those are going to be your main sources of carbohydrates, and just so spread those out. I'll actually give you a sample diet of what I've been eating too over the last week. So the last 3 days actually, since we're doing 2 servings of Clearvite, looked a little bit like this. I'd have my Clearvite, usually wait a little bit if I had to shower, get ready or whatever, then there'd be a little gap between having the Clearvite and then eating my first meal of 15 or 20 minutes just to get it down in the system. 2 to 3 slices of turkey bacon, a really small serving of quinoa, with maybe some blueberries, and that would usually be about it for breakfast, unless I wanted some more vegetables or even like a really small, less sugary fruit or something. But usually the blueberries gave me that craving. And so then in the morning, it would be snack time, usually about mid-morning if I could get out from seeing patients and run back and eat some nuts or a small piece of fruit. And then again, I'd eat at lunch. Lunch, typically bring like a salad with olive oil and apple cider vinegar, and then usually a serving of protein, either a fish or a chicken breast, usually chicken breast for lunch. And if it was a really busy day for me, I would add in some quinoa or sweet potato in there just to get a little bit more sugar in my body to sustain through the afternoon. As you know, we get pretty busy at the clinic, so necessary. Then usually if I could sneak out in the afternoon and get a second snack, celery sticks and almond butter would be a good snack, or carrots and hummus. That's kind of my go-tos for snacks. And then I'd usually be pretty good until I got home. Clearvite again before dinner, since this was the last 5 to 7 days here. So I had the Clearvite again, just kind of wait while we're cooking dinner. And then the dinner the last few nights has been fish, usually a serving of fish or a fillet, and usually 2 servings of a vegetable. Usually pretty hungry and don't want to over carb indulge at night, so usually have a huge serving of broccoli or green beans or something, or a very large salad with dinner. And then usually later on, if I needed a snack before bed, could have like some cucumber hummus, or I have like some other plant-based protein shakes if I was really, really hungry, but that would really just be on long days. Anyway, I just wanted to go through some of that and just kind of give you an example of what my diet is compared to, or you can follow the sample diets on here and just kind of sort in your own foods. I feel like they did an okay job, but it was a little bit confusing, so I just wanted to clear that up. Anyway, so the big week coming up is going to be next week. Now, like I said, if you started Monday, starting this coming Monday, there's going to be no animal products in the diet. So none of that turkey, none of the chicken, no fish, no lamb this next week. So this is going to be the tough one. Calories are going to seem lower because those of you that are used to eating proteins, this is where it's going to be a little bit tougher on maintaining the blood sugar and maintaining energy throughout the day. Now at this point in the detox, so your body's running at a higher rate and you should be feeling a little bit better already. Some people this won't be bad at all. But if you feel yourself getting tired during this week, this is a time you can bump up a little bit of the healthy fat intake. So if you need a little bit more olive oil, a little bit more, we've been using avocado oils, coconut oil to cook with. Cook your vegetables or toss it in after. I wouldn't suggest cooking with the olive oil. We kind of talked about that at Denatures a little bit when you try to fry with it. So stick to your avocado or coconut oil when cooking. But great to add to after the foods, as well as eating avocado. Great source of fat. I'm actually going to add some extra coconut milk, and not the coconut milk in the carton, but the one in the can. So the one in the carton, they add some ingredients to preserve it, but the one in the can, because it's in a can, it preserves itself better as it is. And if you look on the label, we have one from Trader Joe's. I think it was like a coconut milk light. I think the heavier one had some thickening agents, so I didn't really like it. But the light one was, it was just a good source of healthy fats. I got one right here. So I picked up this one. It's actually just for me to get some extra calories. I was just going to put it in, a breakfast shake or drink a little bit in the morning. There's 4 grams of fats in it, and 2 grams of fiber and 1 gram of sugar, or 2 grams of sugar. But just 50 extra calories and really good healthy fats. So that's going to be good for the second week. Just add a little bit of extra calories where you can, so you don't feel like you're hungry the whole time. Now at this point though, you're probably questioning what should I be feeling? What should I be getting out of this? And a lot of you have already voiced to me, I feel great. I feel a little more clear-headed already. I'm hungry all the time, which is good. That means you're not overeating. We're going to keep the meals small because that's going to keep the metabolism up. And this is going to be super important for those of you that wanted to lose some weight during and after this, is we're trying to build up your immune system, but we're trying to build up your metabolism as well. So anytime you detox the liver, your body has a way of helping regulate thyroid hormones a little bit better. And so when your thyroid is functioning at a higher level, you'll burn fat quicker and you'll convert fats to glucose and then glucose to energy at a better rate. So that's what we want to get the most out of it. So those of you that are trying to burn fat, remember, spread out the meals and keep them really small. And that's going to keep the metabolism up throughout this. You'll probably notice some changes in your gut. If you decided to do some probiotics, you're probably noticing that's helping a little bit at this point. You might have had a little bit of bloating or gas from the increased vegetable intake for those of you that were used to a lower vegetable diet than this first week. And the probiotics will give you a little bit more of that bloating at first, but then after they start working, they're going to calm all that down and help start to break down foods and boost your immune system. So really, really great. Like I said, clearer mind. Should notice that that brain fog is starting to lift. Remember, the first week without caffeine, your body's going to feel a little constricted in your brain. Your thinking's going to be, maybe not as hyperactive as it was on caffeine. But now your adrenals are starting to regenerate and your brain's going to start to function at a higher level because you're not, basically just not pouring a lot of toxins into the body that the body has to detox. So gluten's really a big one. Once the gluten's out of the system for long enough, the brain's going to start to clear and you're going to start to feel a lot better. Some of you will start to realize that you're having less of a response to allergies, less of that histamine response or where your body gets a little inflamed if you're around allergens, because this is a low allergen diet. So for those of you that want to keep that going, I highly suggest really trying to get used to the diet, mostly the first and third week, as most people aren't allergic to the few animal products that we've given here. But the first and the third week are going to be diets that you could actually follow after this diet's over, and just to continue on and see if you have any food allergies like we talked about. If you have any questions on how to do that at the end, we'll be doing one more video and I'll kind of explain that again real quick. But just to start to learn how you digest certain foods and if you're allergic to any of them. So like I said, overall immune system function is going to keep going up. The less we make our body work, the greater our immune system and our body's ability to heal. So for those of you out there with any chronic pains or any inflammation in the body from diet, from lifestyle, from work, maybe from medications, it's going to help calm all that down. And so we'll see a greater immune function after this diet and continuing on in the future. All right, guys, well, I just want to wrap this up and say congratulations for those of you that started on Monday. Congratulations on an amazing first week of a detox. Really super excited for those of you that are doing it with me now and those that are going to do it in the future. Remember, the first week is the hardest week. Although a lot of us put a lot of pressure on this second week with no animal products, no extra proteins being really, really difficult. Actually, the first few days of a detox are the hardest. That's when your body's getting used to not having gluten and some of the foods that are really, really addictive to us. So just know that you've actually made it through the hardest part already, so stay motivated. You only got 2 weeks left to this, and just know that as you wrap this up, you're going to see the benefits start to come together. You're going to have a greater sense of well-being, a higher metabolic function, a higher metabolism for fat burning purposes, just clearer mind, and just know that everything you're doing is for your health right now. So just want to kind of wrap up and say thank you guys for participating. I'm going to give you my email, drmark@rainierchiro.com. If you have any questions, feedback, just want to say how you're doing, share with the group. Perfectly fine. Let's form like a good network during this, and just to support each other. Like I said, we're almost halfway there, and just know that we're here to support you. And anything you need, just get a hold of us. All right, guys. Have a great Sunday, and go Hawks! Win the Super Bowl.